Hey guys, it's Christine, also known as IvyWinter. Thanks for joining me for another Wedding Wednesday. Sorry that Peter isn't here with me this time. I know that was super fun video and he really loved all the positive feedback of him being in it. So I'm pretty sure I've convinced him to be in some future videos. Probably at least a couple more that he can definitely weigh in on. But today I'm alone and just gonna talk about how we are incorporating some of our geeky love of things into the wedding. And if you guys have seen some of the photos of my venue, which I showed like a while back when we picked the venue, it is a very classic New York venue. It is not the kind of venue that you think a geeky wedding would be at. And I wouldn't by any means call our wedding geeky. It's not like it's all themed to one sort of thing. It's not overtly, you know, have crazy references to things, but because we do feel passionately about a lot of dorky things, we want to include that in our wedding because it's still important to us to have some sort of personality. And I think that we're trying to find sort of a balance between a very classic wedding but also something that has our personalities and the things that we love in it. So the first thing I want to talk about is the ceremony and how we're going to incorporate some of this stuff into that. You know, there's the first thing that happens for the night and it kind of sets the tone for everything, and we definitely have some references there that are a little bit more, like I said, geeky. So the first thing that guests are going to hear when they are coming in is pre-ceremony music, and that music is for the 15 to 30 minutes before the ceremony. When people come in, they say hi to each other, they find their seats. There has to be some sort of music playing, can't just be silent. I mean, I guess it could be, but that'd be a little weird. So for that, we are doing a mix of Disney music, but not Disney music that is necessarily super obvious to those who aren't Disney fans. So we are doing some of the slower Main Street USA songs. We are doing some songs like Married Life from Up, a couple of songs from the WALL-E soundtrack, and a couple of the love songs that are from movies not so well known. So, you know, My Bella Evangeline from Princess and the Frog, for instance, which is a song I absolutely love, but not a lot of people would know because I feel like not a lot of people have seen that movie as compared to, say, The Lion King. And so it'll be like violin, you know, orchestral covers, so it's not even like the original song with lyrics. So even more so, it's just kind of understated, and you know, for me and for the people who will know these songs, it'll be awesome. They'll be like, oh hey, that's from, you know, X. But for other people who might not know, it's not like, oh, this is really geeky or like this is overwhelmingly Disney. It's kind of just like a nice touch. And what's a shame is we won't even hear the pre-ceremony music because I'll be off in the back getting last minute ready, or taking photos or whatever it might be. So it's for me in a way that I know that it's happening, but obviously it's not really for me. Like, I don't even get to hear it, but like I feel like some of my friends are really gonna enjoy that. So that kind of sets up the whole ceremony. And then for our music, we do have a mix of some like contemporary strings stuff, and then a little bit more, like I said, of the geeky sort of stuff. We are likely gonna have people walk into the song Safe and Sound by Capital Cities, but again, a string quartet version. There is a group called the Vitamin String Quartet. They do a bajillion covers of songs, like a million, like every band you could ever think of. If you look at them up on Spotify, you'll find like a ton. I spend hours going through it and like looking at a lot of the music. And then for myself, I'm gonna be walking in to Princess Leia's theme, and again, not the original soundtrack score, but something a little more understated, a cover of it, but again, you know, taking a nod to the fact that we both love Star Wars, that I think Princess Leia was an amazing character and role model growing up, and it just felt right for me to choose that. So that'll be in there as well. So we're already kind of starting off some of the ceremony with pieces of that kind of stuff. And then we're gonna have a cocktail hour, and in that cocktail hour we also need music. And because our venue is built in 1919, it has a very 1920s, 1930s vibe, I thought, okay, well, we should just do that kind of music. And Peter was like, yeah, that sounds really awesome. Like, let's just throw back to the fact that this is like this really old house. And then I thought, wait a minute, do you know what Disney ride has a full hour of 1920s, 1930s jazz music? Tower of Terror. So we're basically taking all of the songs from that hour loop, minus the eerie reverb, because we don't want to sound like we're in a haunted wedding. I mean, if we could, that'd be cool. But and then that's going to be all of our music for a cocktail hour. So that's gonna be super fun. And then as part of the wedding, instead of doing traditional programs are like the things you hand out or you get at a ceremony, and like everyone kind of leaves on their seats. And it says like, this is the wedding party and this is the processional and this is what's gonna happen. We kind of feel like it's not needed here because we're not doing some sort of traditional religious ceremony where maybe someone from a different religion wouldn't understand. We're doing a non-denominational, you know, pretty straightforward original ceremony. So instead, we're gonna print out wedding achievements, kind of like gaming achievements for people to do around the venue. And they'll all be based on things you can do in the venue, places to take photos, different things you can do, like taste all the desserts or like whatever that might be. And then they're all gonna be named after like actual game references and stuff. So I've been working on that, and that's been really, really fun to put together. And again, it's like a nod to the fact that we're both gamers and it's something that we super both love. Another thing we joked about, which may or may not happen, is I was like, hey, you know, we need a song. We come into the reception, like, you need some kind of good song. This is your entrance song. And jokingly, Peter goes, Enter Sandman by Metallica. And I start laughing and I go, that would be hilarious, because like, first of all, it's an amazing song. But I made a comment and I was like, you know who also used Enter Sandman by Metallica for entrances? Mariano Rivera, who was a pitcher for the Yankees, which I am a huge fan of, would enter to that every time. It was so famous that when he retired, Metallica actually played the song live at Yankee Stadium. And he said, oh, well, they also use it for the Giants. I can't tell you for what because I don't follow football, so I'm sorry if you're a Giants fan and you're like, God, Christine, they use a song when this happens with the Giants, whatever. Point is, they also use it for the Giants. He's a huge football fan and a huge Giants fan. When we realized that, it was almost like, wait a minute, that's amazing. That's like an awesome reference to two of our favorite sports teams that nobody might really understand. Like that there is that reference, but it's like funny to us, you know? And also, again, awesome song. Like, just, we're the type of people that I could see walking into a reception rocking out to Enter Sandman. So it's a really high contender right now for our song, even though we said it is a really long lead up before the song like actually breaks out. So we need to like figure that out. But yeah, so there's a lot of ways that you can reference things that you love, and they might really be understated. Like, you'd have to explain it to somebody if they don't know off the bat what the reference is to, but that's okay, because maybe that's the point. Like, we don't want to explain it to everybody. We're just doing it for ourselves, and like, we just find that really funny, or it's like really meaningful, or just touches on something that we love. I'm also looking at getting a garter that has the Triforce on it. Just for me. We're not doing a garter toss or anything because I think that whole thing is super creepy and I don't want to do it, but just for myself to know that I have a garter with a freaking Triforce on it, like, very possible that that's gonna happen, because why not? My good friend Keith Lappenig commented on having a hidden Mickey in the cake, which I think is an amazing idea and I almost want to do and like not even tell Peter. I mean, come on, who's gonna really see it, right? But yeah, I think those are just some of the ways that like we're trying to show off our personality and the things that we love without taking away from the fact that like this isn't some themed Disney or video game wedding. but we can have touches of these things that we love throughout a very traditional classic wedding. And I think it's gonna work out well. I think it's gonna be a nice balance, and is really gonna show off our personalities well. At least I'm hoping so. That's the plan. Anyway, so that's it for today's Wedding Wednesday, nice and short. If you guys have ever been to a wedding that had like cool little geeky moments, if something you planned in your wedding that happened, for your wedding that's upcoming, whatever it might be, let me know in the comments below. I'm super interested to hear like how people bring in the things that they love into their big day. And if you want to see more content like this, please subscribe. There will be Wedding Wednesday videos every Wednesday until my wedding, which is in November, and then even then we'll probably have a recap one afterwards. So that's a lot of Wedding Wednesdays upcoming because it's only June. So if you want to see more, please subscribe. If you like this video, then like it. Thanks so much for spending some time with me today, and I'll see you next week. Bye.